We're heading back to the Czech Republic. Let's go. Hey everybody, I have an awesome ration. I have a legit KDP from the Czech Republic. This was sent to me by my buddy Drew78 off mreinfo.com. He actually has a few of these in his hands, and he's interested to sell them, so I will have a link down there in the description box so you can try one of these for yourself if you have never seen one. These are ultra rare. In fact, I think the only video of one of these on YouTube is from a Molchen U2 out of Russia, and it's all in Russian, so I think this one right now will probably be the first one in English. Well, let's take off this wrapping and see what we have. Right off the bat, you can see there are 4 separate cans. This is 1 pound, 15 ounces, where I believe it is 878 grams as it sits. Now, while you can live off this, has enough calories for a day. This is strictly pretty much meat products. So if you want to have carbohydrates, you are going to have to get those for yourself. Same thing with vegetables or anything else. Cut through this plastic. Now, right off the bat, you can see it has letters or a code on the outside of this. And you can also see it's got my favorite things, ring pulls. Now, on these codes, we have a H, a JP, which one is this? A V. All of that is located right on this list, and it tells you exactly what each thing is. And you can see how fresh this stuff is. Depending on where you're from, this is either the day or the month, or the month or the day. But we can all see this is good until 2019. Okay, now going over this content sheet, it's going to tell you this is food for one day. Each one of these cans is 180 grams. Of course, they're in sterilized containers. And also down here it says there's a little 30%. It says none of these cans contain more than 30% fat, which that is a lot, but if you are in a cold climate, it might not be so bad. It'll help keep you warm. And this DL is some poultry meat, which we will try to locate that one. Here it is, even though it's backwards, but what the heck. So there's poultry. This next one is JP. It is pork liver, pork meat, and a little bit of broth. So there that one is. The VM is also a little bit of a pork dish as well. You see that little V on there. And this last one, this H, is a beef product. Now, you can heat these, but it's designed to be eaten right out of the can. And in fact, down here on the bottom, it says as soon as you open these cans to consume them immediately, which means you're not supposed to hang on to them. And then also down here on the bottom, it's got some storage conditions. If you keep them between those centigrades, these should be fine and last for a long, long time. And like I said, what are we going to have? We need to have some kind of carbohydrate to put this on, some type of cracker or something. Fortunately, I've got this awesome loaf of bread sent to me by my buddy Delicious from Poland. So we've got a loaf of bread. I do have some of this awesome Russian cheese that I've saved from an IRP. So, yum. Some caraway crackers. What else do we have? And 2 different types of crisp breads, a multigrain and a regular type. Let's get these things open and let's start sampling. I've been waiting for the perfect stuff to try this bread with, and I don't know what it is about Poland, Eastern European. They make bread that lasts a long time. It seems like every time that I leave a loaf of bread upstairs in my kitchen, that stuff starts failing after a week or so. Let's check this stuff out. And this is even double bagged. That's going to be good. Ah, it's got a nice earthiness to it. You can smell the yeast. Oh, that is going to be good. Having some potted meat. And reading these instructions, it says to place that bread in the microwave to get it nice and heated up. It says approximately 3 minutes in an 800-watt microwave. Mine's a little more powerful than that, so it'll probably be a minute and a half. All right, fresh out of the microwave, let's see how this looks. Wow, look at that. That's going to be awesome. All right, we'll start off with the poultry really quick. Well, you can see the preservative, which is grease in there. Looks like it's going to be a pretty soft. Well, actually not. It is kind of dense. That is going to be rather nice. Just set that down real quick so I can tell you what's inside of this. Okay, of course we have mechanically separated chicken. It's got a little bit of potato starch, wheat flour, onion. What else does it say? Glucose syrup, a flavor enhancer, whatever that would be, and it says some spice extracts. Next is the JP can. This is the pork liver. Has a little bit of pork meat in here as well, and it says a small percentage of pork skin. This is also a little creamier, well, significantly creamier than the poultry. We'll look forward to that. Let's grab the next can. Okay, looking back through there, this V can is actually pork and poultry. It is a mix of both, and it also has pork skin. Looking at this gelatin real quick reminds me of that Italian ration that I had, where that gelatin was absolutely divine. I believe Steve was quite fond of it too. And this is a little more dense, like this first poultry bit right here. Let me get my hands on it. Oh man, I'm sure that is going to be absolutely fabulous. Last can. Now I originally said this last one, this H can, was beef, but this tends to be a little of everything combined. This also has a little bit of poultry and a little bit of pork. So you want to talk about having all kinds of stuff. It looks very similar to that. Of course, you can see the grease or the preservative on here as well. Oh man, this stuff is going to be good. Pretty interesting. Let's see if there's any other kinds of spices or anything in this one that we should know about. This one has a little bit of pea fiber, whatever that is, a little bit of salt, some antioxidants, caraway, and black pepper. And I don't think I mentioned about this one. This one also has black pepper. It says spice extracts and garlic. A little bit of caraway too. Well, let's grab the crackers and some of this bread and chow down. This is truly turning into an international ration. Of course, we have this awesome Czech stuff, but I've got some Russian cheese to add some more flavor to the party. So we'll put some of the bread, or specifically milk bread, down. Have some of these sourdough caraway crackers. And then the Wassa crackers, they look pretty much the exact same. One is kind of whole wheat and one is not. One is wider than the other for some reason. Try figuring that out. Well, let's start off with can number one. This poultry. Jeez, come on, let's go. And we'll try that on its own first. For being dense, it's actually pretty darn creamy. It goes down very smooth. It doesn't have like a salty flavor. However, there is a little bit of this grease on there. But if you did decide that you wanted to heat these up, I guess you could. I mean, there's nothing wrong with eating any food, can or whatever, the way that you want to eat it. I just did it the most expeditious way as possible. But if you definitely heated up, all this grease and stuff would all be melted and good to go. It's actually pretty good stuff. Well, let's dive into this pork liver. You all know that liver is usually not one of my favorite things to do or try. But however, after doing that Croatian ration, they had a little bit of cheese in there that really helped out with their ration. So I'll try this on its own first, and then maybe we'll put a dollop of this cheese on here to see how it affects the taste of the liver, at least to my palate. Yep, it's got that very irony, grainy kind of flavor to it, that taste. Let me grab, what am I going to use? I'll use this. Put just a little bit of shib on here, just to see if this helps me out. I know some people think this is absolutely disgusting, but to each their own. Down the hatch. Definitely the cheese does it for me. It just adds an extra little flavor combination, a little bit of silky creaminess in there that just puts it right over the top. And if you're wondering what I'm having for a beverage, I'm using good old iced tea that is lemon flavored. It's good stuff. Now on to this one. This one is the poultry meat. Again, it's got all of this gelatin, this aspic, whatever you like to call it, it's got all this. I just recall from that Italian ration, it was absolutely incredible. So I'm going to try to get some of that, as well as this big old clump right on top. And we'll try it on this sourdough cracker. Yeah, that looks pretty good. As I expected, this little gelatin stuff in here packs a whole whop of flavor. Oh, it's just really good. The pork itself is a little chewy, which is kind of pleasant, especially after these were pretty creamy on themselves. So this one definitely has a little bite. You have to chew it to enjoy it. Well, we will grab the milk bread and put a little bit of this. Hopefully we won't contaminate with the cheese. Oh, man. So far, this is a winner in my book. This one was the best by far because it has meat components from the poultry, pork, a little bit of beef in there, and then you get the chewiness, texture of this bread. This is the way to go. Have a nice sandwich out of this stuff. Let me put a little cheese on here too. Grab just a little more of this stuff. Man, I mean, hands down, this is the best one so far. You get a little bit of this gelatin in there too. Oh man, you're not getting away from me, buddy. You were going in there. That is good stuff. And just like this one, the liver, just adding just a little bit of cheese to that just accentuates that flavors so much more. You get the chewiness, you get the nice flavor from the gelatin, and all those meats just blended together. Good stuff. The chewiness of the bread, that is really good. I'm so glad that Delicious sent this bread. So far, it is spot on. Well, everybody, I'm going to keep on snacking on to snack on. But this was a review of a Czech Republic KDP, or canned ration. They don't really issue these in the service anymore. I'm pretty sure that these are kind of the last ones that you're going to see unless they're on the commercial market. But outstanding. Again, thank you so much to Drew, 78% of this to me. I will have all his information down there below in the description box. Click on it to get in touch if you want to try this stuff for yourself. And I will see you all on my next review. Bye.